once again, a very, very good afternoon to each and every one of you. I know for the grade 10 who would have traveled from 3 locations so that you can get to meet your colleagues at our Lusignan location. On behalf of the team here, we say welcome. It is indeed a pleasure having you here as we launch another major program, a program that will continue to impact lives. Why are we here this afternoon? I'm pretty sure that is on the mind of many. And as we continue to pivot, as we continue to explore amazing opportunities, opportunities that will not only transform our school, but more so on a larger scale, transform your lives while we continue to make a positive impact. So often we hear that it has become a cliche. The children are our future. Now, as educators, as policymakers, what are we doing to ensure that our future generation, and that is the people sitting across me, what are we doing to ensure that we equip you with the right tools since the future of our nation is in your hands? As a school, we know our mission is to continue to impart knowledge. Not only knowledge, but to inculcate good values, good discipline, good morals, so that you can be a good representation in society. But that is not enough. As you go out, as you complete high school, what are the tools we're giving you so that you can continue to make an impact? An impact that will truly transform our nation, or more so on a global scale. That is why we're here this afternoon. We talked about transforming lives through education. What are we doing? Do we have you coming to school in a traditional classroom, learning the way we have always learned, and that is the chalkbook, the textbook, the delivery, which is a whole lot. Still, there is a lot of what we call a humanistic approach. How are we leveraging all the breakthrough that has been happening in terms of technology and innovation? Now, the program we're launching today, it is not to replace the human. We know that in a school environment, socialization, having that personal experience is very, very important. Hence, the human element will always be the key in ensuring that we produce quality leaders and we continue to provide quality education. Why we're here this afternoon is to talk about something that is already here, but more so is going to transform, it's going to make a bigger impact as you head into the future and you prepare yourselves. And that is artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? It is still a learning process for me, and that is why, very shortly, I will be joining you on the other side as a learner myself. But I'm very eager, I'm very interested because we talk about the future, and as an educator, the future is in my hand as we continue to create change. How are we impacting your lives? What are the tools we're giving you so that you continue to go out there, create change, but also to make that bigger impact? And we have someone, I will leave him to introduce himself. He is currently the person who will be leading that project at CAI. So we have an entire year set aside, planned for that major transformation to happen. But in the next 3 months, we have major projects that includes training our teacher and how to leverage on all of the AI tools so that not to replace them, but to simplify their work. How do we train you to use the AI tools so that it can assist you in doing your research? And on a bigger scale, what AI tool is there so that as Camille's continue to embark on major projects, what are the productivity tool, more so the AI tool, that can assist us in making our workload lighter? And that is why we're here this afternoon. So let's give a big round of applause to Nick Brown, and he will introduce himself. Over to you, Nick.
Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Let's try that again with a little bit more energy. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. All right, thank you, everyone. My name is Nick Brown. I'm very, very happy to be here, and I'm very happy that Camille has taken the initiative to set up this event. But we're going to be doing some demos today. So instead of writing a speech, I decided to ask ChatGPT to write my introduction for me. Oops. Good morning, esteemed students, dedicated teachers, and supportive parents and members of the media. I'm Nick Brown, an AI educator with a vision to revolutionize education in the Caribbean through the power of artificial intelligence. Today, we stand on the brink of a new era in education as we launch the Caribbean AI4Education Conference right here in Guyana, graciously sponsored by Camille's Academy. This conference is a beacon of innovation and promise, aiming to bridge the gap between traditional education and the dynamic digital future. We are gathered here not just to discuss the potential of AI in education, but to actively shape a future where every student and educator in Guyana across our vibrant region can harness these tools to enhance learning faster, foster creativity, and prepare for a world that is increasingly driven by technology. Our mission is clear: to empower, to innovate, and to transform. By integrating AI tools in our classrooms, we open doors to endless possibilities: customized learning experiences, accessible education for all, and nurturing of critical skills needed in the 21st century. This is not just an investment in technology, but a profound commitment to the holistic development of our students and the advancement of our educators. Let's embrace this journey with open minds and hearts, ready to explore, learn, and grow together. The future of education is bright, and it begins here with us in Guyana. Thank you for being part of this momentous occasion. Let's make history together for our students, our communities, and the entire Caribbean region. Welcome to the Caribbean AI4Education Conference launch. Let the journey begin. So how did AI do? Like, a scale of 1 out of 10, how did it do? All right, it took me, I don't know, how long do you think it took me to write that paragraph? 30 seconds? About that? So that's just one demonstration of the power of AI, and we're going to be doing a lot more today. So let's make this a little bit interactive for a moment so that we understand where everyone's at. I'd like to see a show of hands of who's used any AI tool. Any, Snap AI, OpenAI's ChatGPT. All right, great. Who's used some, I'm going to now name some other tools. Who's used Wolfram Alpha? Okay. Who's used Khan Academy's AI tutor, CanMigo? Who's used Perplexity? Bard? Bing AI? So you may not know it, but the AI world has exploded in the last year and a bit. There are now well over 5,000 publicly available AI tools for various different purposes. There are so many amazing tools that have been developed in just the last year. And what's happening is the Western world is going all in on using AI and advanced technology. They're putting billions of dollars into how to use AI in their organizations, whether that's in their governments, their education systems, or their industry. They are investing in the future. Who knows what the fourth industrial revolution is? All right. So we've had 3 industrial revolutions. The third is what we call the digital information age. Well, we're entering the 4th industrial revolution. Actually, we've already entered it. I would suggest we are no longer in the third industrial revolution. We are in the fourth industrial revolution, the age of AI, augmented reality, virtual reality, automation, and robotics. We are moving into an uncharted future. The future that you guys will be growing up in is going to look radically different than the future, or than the way the world looks today. I just want to give you an idea. When I started university in 2001, I said, what would the world look like at the end of my career in 2050? And I'm like, wow, it's going to be really different. And I used to say that business as usual, keeping going flat, it's not sustainable, it's not going to maintain itself. We're either going to have a dystopian future or we're going to have a utopian future. And so I committed my life in university to making the world a better place. I worked in student politics and post-secondary education. I was on the board of a university. I moved over to working on Wall Street, doing sustainability analytics and pioneering the analysis of environmental, social, and governance factors and how they affect financial performance. From there, I decided that I wanted to learn, having talked my entire life about sustainability, I realized that I'd never practiced sustainability. I'd been flying around the world to different offices and different conferences, but I didn't know how to grow my own food. I didn't know how to build a house. I didn't know how to do rainwater catchment. I didn't know how to raise fish in a tank. I didn't know a lot of things. And so I began to study not just high technology, or in looking at how the world is going to get to the utopian future, I realized that there's a balance of high technology like artificial intelligence and basic technology like regenerative agriculture and building with locally grown materials that are from our community and locally sourced food from backyard gardens. But AI has absolutely exploded. And so those other basic technologies, they've really advanced, and the education around them has really progressed since over the last 50 years. And there's lots of organizations around the world that is spreading that knowledge. But in developing countries, there's the UN and Red Cross and all the amazing NGOs. But as far as I know, there's not a single organization on the planet which is dedicated to bringing AI education tools to developing countries. There may be, I know there are in countries like India and Philippines, there are companies in their countries that are working on this. But there's no global solution, and there's no solution that I know of in particular in the Caribbean region. So I'm a big believer that this fourth industrial revolution, we're not prepared for it in developing countries. And it really makes me worried. Some predictions are that as many as 80% of white-collar jobs are going to disappear by the year 2030. A lot of the jobs that we currently aspire to as future university graduates, say being in a call center, working in a BPO as an outsourced accountant, those jobs are very likely to be replicated or to be replaced by artificial intelligence. So what's happening right now is really scary to me. The digital divide is growing faster than ever. As developed countries put billions of dollars into artificial intelligence, countries like Guyana haven't had anyone really demonstrate to them at scale how these tools can be used. Those of you who have learned about AI have likely done so via TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat. And that's okay. So I want to tell you a little bit about my story. For 17 years, I've been living in developing countries. So when I was working on Wall Street, I got sent to the Philippines and I fell in love with the tropics. I fell in love with the people, the weather, the economics, the environment. And I understand that the tropics can be a very hard environment for people to live when you're from there. But as an outsider, every country in the tropics that I've ever been to has welcomed me with hospitality and open arms. And after I learned how to farm, Typhoon Haiyan happened, the largest typhoon to ever make landfall in the Philippines. More than 1 million homes were destroyed. And so I went and I joined the response. I worked with government and I ended up as the executive director of a disaster response organization. From there, I worked for the United Nations in countries like Micronesia and Afghanistan, where I helped them recover from disasters and built technology solutions for them. Recently, a few years ago, I was the country manager in the Philippines for the humanitarian OpenStreetMap team, and Amazon's chief technology officer, the third person in Amazon, one of the largest tech companies in the world, flew to the Philippines to film a documentary about how we were using artificial intelligence with satellite imagery, with geospatial imagery. How could we use satellite imagery to detect roads and buildings and then add them to OpenStreetMap? And who here knows what OpenStreetMap is? All right, you've probably used OpenStreetMap without knowing it. It's the marriage of Google Maps and Wikipedia. It's a map tool that's available for free for anyone and that anyone can update it. And in countries like Guyana, Google Maps doesn't have much of a financial incentive to keep the maps updated and at very high quality because there's not a lot of ad revenue here. So OpenStreetMap, being open source, allows students as yourselves to look at satellite imagery, have AI predict where there's roads and buildings, and add those roads and buildings to the map that is then available for anyone in the world to use, whether it's the government, private sector, or communities. So AI then 3-4 years ago wasn't where it is right now. Every year it's getting more and more advanced. AI technology, I'll just turn this off for a moment. Who's here familiar with the idea of exponential growth? Okay. So exponential growth is when growth gets faster and faster and faster. We're seeing what is almost close to logarithmic growth in AI. Moore's law of computing used to be that every year computing would double in power. We're seeing that go faster. Moore's law has been broken and computing power is getting faster and faster. All the major tech companies are in an AI battle to see who can develop the best AI and get the biggest market share possible. So So my entire life I've been working in countries like this, trying to make the world a better place. And I believe that AI is the way that we can empower the world, because especially in education. Because with the world of work changing and the future of work being so different from the past, we need to be prepared. I'll just give you an idea of the change in technology in the last 30 years. I got my first computer 32 years ago at 8 years old. That was before Windows 3.1. I didn't have a modem, and I used DOS to install programs. I then grew up, and now we have supercomputers in our hands. So what do you think the world is going to look like 32 years from now in terms of technology, right? We didn't have mobile phones when I grew up 30 years ago. So where is technology going to go? We can't predict exactly where it's going to go. But what we can do is we can get as prepared as possible by using as much technology in our daily lives as possible and becoming technically literate and literate about AI and data science and machine learning. And here's the thing, you don't need to become some crazy programmer. Artificial intelligence and generative AI has become so easy to use that anyone can use it. If you are literate, and even if you're not literate, you can still use AI tools. And as I said before, there are literally hundreds of them. So, the future of work is going to be different. We have to be prepared. So what are we going to do? Well, Camille's Academy has brought me here. I'm very gracious to her in order to start training your teachers, because I think it's important that educators lead the way in adopting technology, because students learn through observation, and teachers are our greatest role models. So the more teachers and educators in this country can adopt AI in their workflows for curriculum design, for developing assignments, for teaching, for presentations, for creating interactivity and engagement, for customizing learning plans for every student. The more teachers use technology, the more students will be empowered to use technology. And the next generation is absolutely going to be using technology that we can't even imagine yet during their lives. So we'll be working with Camille's Academy teachers and students, and we'd like to bring this education to every teacher and educator in the country and the region. So the event that we're hosting in April, we are only able to accommodate a couple hundred people in person, but we hope to make it, the sponsored event, we hope to make it free and publicly available to every single educator and student in Guyana and the region. And we're very excited to have this opportunity because technology allows us to live stream an education platform, a full day conference to thousands or tens of thousands of people. And then my team online in a Discord community can engage those people, those virtual participants, answering their questions, giving feedback on the prompts that they're using and the work that they are generating. So we can now, with technology, have an experiential learning event, which is both in person and online, and reach a massive audience. And that's the future of education as well. We've got, obviously, COVID changed the way we're doing education. There's a lot more blended education. But it's important that we adopt the best technologies, the best practices that we can possibly find in terms of education. And there's a lot of, there's some resistance in fear in the education sector about AI. People are worried about students cheating or writing essays with AI. They're thinking that maybe students will get lazy. But I disagree fundamentally. I think it's the obligation on teachers to change the way that they teach to accommodate the new technology that is there. Banning your students from using AI is probably one of the worst things that an educator could do to hamper a student's potential for entering the workforce over the next decade. So adopting AI, learning how to work with it, learning how to create examinations and tests and experiences that are empowered and enabled with AI. And so that learning can be enhanced, because rote learning, memorization is so much less important than resourcefulness, the ability to teach yourself anything, and the ability to find solutions to problems and solve those problems. You know, with artificial intelligence, you don't need to memorize every single fact, because at your fingertip, facts are available to you, but you need to be able to think about those facts. You need to be able to how to use them. So along with teaching AI, we've also got to work on improving the way we think around problem solving and learning. And for me, my favorite part about generative AI like ChatGPT is the ability to teach myself anything. So there's one message I'd like everyone to take away from this. You can use AI as your personalized tutor to teach you literally anything that you want to learn at your level and guide you through that learning growth in an empathetic and helpful way. Now, AI is no threat to the classroom and is no threat to teachers. In fact, I think AI will empower teachers to create better learning outcomes for their students. I don't see AI replacing teachers anytime in the near future. But the power to have in your hand 24 hours a day a personalized AI tutor that is capable of answering any of your questions is just wildly powerful. So I've taught myself new programming languages. I've taught myself new pieces of software. I've taught myself new things about history, about religion, about spirituality. Using ChatGPT and Perplexity and Bard and Bing, I'm able to really take control of my own learning experience. So I know I don't look it, but I'm a massive nerd. I like reading Wikipedia articles for fun. But talking to ChatGPT and asking ChatGPT to teach me about the things that I want to learn at the level that I want to learn them is super powerful there. So I want to walk you through and give you just a real example of some of the technology that's out there. Because I've talked about research a little bit. You saw it write a speech. But there are also lots of other tools and lots of other purposes. So I'm going to go and I'm going to show a fun one. So we're going to create some music and some lyrics. So I want someone from the audience to give me a theme. I'm going to get 3 keywords from you guys and we're going to create a theme. So can someone can put their hand up and give me any word?
Mushroomani.
Mushroom?
Mushroom. Mushroomani. It's a celebration in Guyana that's coming up very soon.
I'm not going to be able to spell that. I need another word. What's that? Okay, you spell it for me. All right. Let's go. Sure. One moment. All right, now I need a music style. Soca. S-O-C-A? All right. Soca. All right, how do I spell it? M-A-S-H. R-E-M. A-N. Masharami Festival. Festival. And how much Guyanese people love it right. So here I've written Rashmi Festival and how much Guyanese people love it, right in Guyanese Creole. So having it right in Guyanese Creole doesn't always give the best results, and I'm sorry the screen's not coming up perfectly. But what we got was first, we got the lyrics. So it generated some lyrics here. I can't really see it. I know you can't really see it, and I'm going to... What's that? Yeah, but it's the brightness on this and the contrast. 1 second. If I do it here. Can we see it there? So that's the lyrics that it just came up with. And now it's creating music and putting a voice to it. So we're going to wait about 30 seconds. And then we're going to go back here. And this is a Discord channel. This is an online community. I know you can't see it very well, but there's dozens of online communities dedicated to AI where you can teach yourself anything about how to use tools, how to code. This is a channel, this is a bot that is generated for this. And you can see in here, you've got lots of other people that are generating songs at the same time. So these communities allow people to engage with each other. So let's see, here we go. Let's see what we got. All right, how cool was that? Was that cool? All right, because you guys have to know, there's no way I knew that term. We couldn't have planned this. I don't know soca music, and I don't know Guyanese Creole. And yet I was able to generate that in under a minute. That is the future of technology. People keep talking about AI as this existential thing that's coming sometime in the future. AI is here right now. It is accessible to us right now. You can learn very quickly how to create beautiful YouTube videos with images, music, lyrics. And you could learn that in a week and be generating beautiful content. This is stuff that you can be doing right now when you're in high school, when you're in university. You don't need to wait to graduate to experiment with these tools. Let's give you another example. And let's see how well the screen shows this. So this is another bot that generates and animates images. So let's go back to ChatGPT for a second. And now, someone give me an idea for an image. Yes? A what? A crime scene. All right, what was the crime? Oh, let's go something more pleasant and happy than a crime scene. Let's go something better than a crime. Let's, what's with crime? No, we're gonna do something good vibes. Use DALL-E to create an image of a beach on the Demerara. Did I spell? No, Demerara. I totally spelled that wrong, didn't I? Demerara. Wait, we're gonna do another one. The Stowbrook Market, penguin dancing on the roof, wearing a top hat in the style of Da Vinci. No, let's do in a photorealistic style. All right, so I'm doing a completely ridiculous request, but it's fun just to show you. So while that's loading here, I'll show you some of the stuff that is being created in the other channel. So with one prompt, using this other tool, you can start to animate images for free. So once we generate something with DALL-E, so that the quality isn't very good on this right now. You can see that the animation is not perfectly smooth on the right there, but it's getting better every day, and this is a free tool that I'm showing you right now that anyone can use. So let's go see what the penguin looks like. Oops, cancel. Okay, there you go. So not a perfect generation of Stowbrook Market, but still, you know, an interesting rendition. Now, we can say that we don't like it, and then we can give it some more directions. So now we asked it to, we gave it instructions. So now I'm not using any coding, no computer language. I'm just having a conversation with ChatGPT, asking it to improve. So it takes a couple of minutes. But for me, I'm not a content marketer. I'm not a creative person. I don't make music. I don't make videos. But ChatGPT enables me to make amazing things. All right, so that's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah? So this can become so fun, and you can just create the wildest things. And I would be lying if I haven't stayed up 12 hours in a row just creating really cool images and playing and seeing what's possible. But here's the thing. There's a new industry that's being created around generative AI. Because even though it's super easy to use, the more you know how to use it and the better you know how to use these generative AI tools, the more powerful the results are that you get. So there's a new industry called prompt engineering that is developing and emerging in the AI space that is one of the most in-demand professions in the world right now. Who here is familiar with the concept of prompt engineering? YouTube and TikTok and Instagram are not doing a great job of giving you guys the right AI content. So hopefully I'm here to help with that. So prompt engineering is the art of using our words to get the results that we want. So when we think about using generative AI, a good way to think about it is to think about it as a recent graduate that's very intelligent, has access to all the world's information, but isn't very good at guessing context, understanding culture, and you really need to give it can't read your mind. So you have to give it really clear directions. So the more clear you are with the directions that you give it, the better results that you get from it. And there's a bunch of different prompt engineering techniques, but the basics are the more detailed and descriptive you are, the clearer you are about your audience, your goals, your objectives, your desires, the outcomes that you're looking for, the tone, the style of the output. The more information you provide to an LLM, the better a result that you get. So this is just a quick tour of ChatGPT. There's maybe 2 other tools here that I want to quickly show you. Perplexity is a fantastic research tool. So Perplexity works in a different way. If I had asked ChatGPT to teach me grade 10 algebra, it would have actually given me a very different answer. So each of these tools that are out there, and I'm going to pull up Bing. So Perplexity is mainly a research tool, but each of these tools gives you different answers. So when you're researching, when you're writing, I encourage you not to just use ChatGPT. I encourage you to use Bard and Bing and Claude and Perplexity so that you can, all right, we're not getting the answers that I wanted there. Sorry about that. So each different tool gives you different answers. So you get, by asking multiple AI tools questions and looking at all the answers, you can very much synthesize those answers to get the best answer that's authentically written by you, by curating answers from AI and redesigning them in an effective way. It's important that we remember that if we let AI do our work for us, then we're missing out on a learning opportunity. So don't use AI to take advantage of just plugging in something and getting an answer, copying and pasting it into your test or your exam. It's really important that you don't cheat yourself of the learning experiences that you're getting in school, and that you use AI instead to enhance your learning experience. Remember, no one can really teach you. You can choose to learn, and AI is a great help with you. Introducing just a couple of others, there's Wolfram Alpha for science, math, physics. This is an absolutely amazing tool. If you have ChatGPT Pro, Wolfram Alpha can be integrated as a plugin into ChatGPT Pro. And I want to remind you that you can empower yourself to learn about AI. On YouTube, there are literally hundreds of thousands of videos out there about different AI tools that can help guide you through the process of learning. I'll give you another example. This is Futurepedia.io. This is a database of 5,000 tools that's available for free with tools in different categories. So depending on what it is that you're looking for, you can get a list of a variety of tools that you can experiment with. I would encourage you all to try as many tools as you can. Experiment with them. There are new tools being released every single day. So just because one tool was really good 6 months ago doesn't mean it's still the best. There might be something better. I'd encourage you to cultivate the experience, the mindset of experimentation. Try new tools, see which ones work, learn about prompt engineering, experiment, play. You can't really break these tools. If you don't like the answers you're getting, you can create a new chat. So let me wrap that up. Amazing tools. The fourth industrial revolution is here. These are just a few examples of the thousands of tools that are out there and some of the amazing capabilities that is now available right here, right now. When you go home today, you can be experimenting with these tools, creating images and creating content, doing research, understanding math and sciences better. Over the next year, our team will be helping you learn those things. Who here has used Discord before? All right, fantastic. We're creating a Discord community for you guys and for all educators and students in the Caribbean, where we're going to be sharing free learnings about AI. So we're very much going to welcome everyone in Camille's Academy and students from around Guyana and from around the Caribbean to join us in this online community where we've got dozens of coaches ready to support your learning around AI. Final note, very excited about this conference that's coming up from April. I'm really hoping that we can reach the largest audience possible to begin the journey of learning. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here today. I'd love to take some questions. So, can I already exist? It's just about bringing those technologies here, showing people how to use it, doing training and development, maybe bringing in some outside consulting and outside skills and knowledge so we can develop capacity for adoption. But whether it's in agriculture or health, I'm going to make a prediction that within the next 10 years, every government department is going to be using AI tools on a daily basis. The question is, does it take 1 year or 10 years? And I'm not a prophet, so I don't know how long that will take. Does that answer your question? Thank you. Can I get some more questions? Can I get questions from a student? I'll buy some candy. Yes, sir.
Were you using premium ChatGPT or regular ChatGPT?
Great question. So what I showed you was premium ChatGPT. GPT 3.5 is free. GPT-4, ChatGPT Pro, you have to pay for, and it has more features. It's $20 a month. I'm hoping that eventually, in coordination with the government here, we can reach out to OpenAI and other providers and hopefully get discounted pricing in developing countries for people who can't afford it. Because $20 a month for a piece of technology is a lot of money here in Guyana and in every developing country. So there is free tools to do everything that I've shown you. There are open source AI tools that you can run on your own computer if it has enough compute power. And I very much like to focus on free and open source in general, especially in developing countries. But I do use some paid tools as well. I think it's worth it for the amount that I use, but there's no reason not to be using 3.5. And very soon we're going to have 4.5 out, and then 4 will be free. So the more you start using it, so even if you're using an AI, this is one great piece of advice. Even if you're using an AI tool and your result that you're getting is not perfect, it's great that you're experiencing it now, because next year it's going to be better, and the year after it's going to be better than that, and the year after it's going to be better than that. So the more you learn, the more you engage with different tools, and especially around the idea of prompt engineering, the better. The market is moving so fast. Every month a new groundbreaking piece of technology is being released. Okay. Mom.
So, hi Nick. What I'd like to ask, what would be some basic AI tools that teachers can use to assist their students in classroom or in terms of teaching?
Fantastic question. One of the favorite tools that I've seen is Khan Academy's Migo. Unfortunately, it's only available in the US. However, if you use a VPN, you might be able to access it. ChatGPT, though, is a great Swiss Army knife for doing anything, whether it's curriculum design, coming up with ideas for assignments, writing assignment questions, developing multiple choice questions, and changing the difficulty of the multiple choice questions. ChatGPT is really a great Swiss Army knife, but then for each specific use case that we have, whether curriculum design or presentation design or data analysis or quizzes, there are specialized tools for each of those different things that may have more features and outperform ChatGPT alone. But many of those tools also cost money. So if you start using the best-in-class curriculum design tool and the best-in-class quiz design tool and the best-in-class grading tool, right? Now you've got $20, $20, $20, $20. Right? So that can get expensive, which is why as we go through our experience together, we'll be using a lot of ChatGPT and the other free tools and a lot of Bard and so many more. But we will also expose you guys to the more advanced tools or the more specialized tools that cost money. And then we can decide, you know, as we experience this together, is the extra $20 a month per teacher or the extra $5 or $15 or whatever it is that extra worth it? Is it needed for every teacher? Can there be one account per grade or one account per campus? So this will be an ongoing experimentation for Camille's Academy. Which tools are the right ones for you? Because we start small, then we get more and more complicated and expose ourselves to more and more things. So thank you for the question. Where do we go back there? Can you stand up and be loud, or do you want the mic? All right, let's give you the mic.
I would like to ask, on the basis of the extent of the AI, I'd like to ask, in certain cases you said it hallucinates, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to know the extent, for example, I want to know to mix napalm, for example. It's very dangerous, I know that, but I know there are restrictions on certain platforms, so but there's no way you can bypass that by making it hallucinate in such a manner that it can thing. Because you said it was like a young person learning. I know everything, it knows everything, but you can convince it or trick it in a certain way, you can get what you want from it. So I'd like to
That's a fantastic question to ask. It's a really, really good question because the ethics and the risks of AI are real. And so I don't want to undermine that. I wanted today to excite people about AI. But quickly, the AI industry realized that while I was developing these tools could be used for bad things. So they're building very robust trust and safety mechanisms to prevent people from asking it how to create a bomb, as the example, or how to create napalm. However, as with every technology, there is the possibility to break and exploit that technology and get behind the guardrails. So I won't lie, there are ways to get a generative AI to tell you how to do something that it shouldn't. And that's in violation of their terms of service. Doesn't mean you can't do it, but it's in violation of your agreement that you have with them. It's not a moral thing to do. It's not a healthy thing to do, to be thinking about how to make bombs and napalm. But that information is on the internet somewhere anyway. If you're familiar with the dark web, and I'm sure there are some students here who are familiar with the dark web and have been on it, there is literally if you have the right knowledge and skills, you can find any piece of information on the internet through AI or jailbreaking or accessing dark web resources, etc. So I'd encourage you to stay off the dark web though. It's a very ugly, ugly place. Does that answer your question? All right, let's get a couple more questions from the students. So one of the questions I get a lot from young people is, what about AI and gaming? Well, the coolest thing about AI, or one of the coolest things, is that you can use AI to create your own games. Even if you've never done any coding, even if you've never used Python, you've never used a programming language, you can use AI to help you write code, explain the code for you, explain the different software applications that you need in order to write that code, and you can build your own games. A lot of game developers are doing it. There's a lot of AI that's going into games. Very soon, when you're going to be interacting with NPCs, you're going to, already in many games, when you're interacting with NPCs, you're already interacting with generative AI and a persona that's been established for that personality. So as games, especially role-playing games, get more and more advanced, there's just going to be so many cool things happening in gaming. And just to give you a cool thing that's happening in the AI world, NVIDIA, the gaming chip manufacturer, is actually using AI to help it design the next generation of AI chips. So those improved chips are then going to be able to be used to improve AI compute power even more. So already AI is improving AI, which is really cool for the gaming world. I used to be a gamer when I was your age. I love gaming, but now I'm a dad, so I'd rather hang out with my family. But maybe we can play some video games on the Discord channel.